One banana. One banana. That's all it takes. You think I'm joking? You think I'm standing here, after more than 7 decades of living inside this body, wasting your time with nonsense? Listen, one banana after your workout can begin to change your body, your energy, your recovery, your life, and if you sit there and tell me that sounds too simple, then that right there is exactly why you're still stuck. Let me tell you something. I was not always the man you see. I was not always strong. I was not always disciplined. When I was a boy, a skinny, weak, sugar-addicted boy, I was a mess. I was eating candy bars, white bread, junk that would make your stomach turn if you really understood what it was doing inside you. I had no energy. I had headaches. I was moody, tired, and angry at the world. I didn't know why. Nobody told me. Nobody sat me down and said, "Jack, what you put in your body determines what comes out of it." Nobody connected those dots for me, and I suffered for it. I genuinely suffered. And maybe that sounds familiar to you right now. I remember the first time someone showed me what real food could do. Not a supplement, not a powder, not some expensive magic pill in a fancy bottle with a celebrity face on the label. Real food. Simple food. Food that God put on this earth and didn't need a laboratory to improve. And I started to pay attention. I started to change. Slowly at first, then faster, then unstoppably. And one of the simplest, most powerful discoveries I ever made, one that I still believe in with every fiber of my being, was this: eat the right thing at the right time, and your body will reward you in ways you cannot imagine. And the banana, my friend, became one of my greatest allies. Now let me tell you something else. There is a principle I have lived by my entire life. Exercise is king, nutrition is queen. Put them together and you've got a kingdom. Say that again in your head. Exercise is king, nutrition is queen. Most people chase the king and ignore the queen. They work out hard. They sweat, they push, they grind, and then they walk out of the gym and eat garbage. Or worse, they eat nothing, and they wonder why they're not getting results. You want to know why? Because you crowned the king and left the queen in the dungeon. You cannot have a kingdom with only half a throne. You need both. And the beautiful thing, the thing that gets me fired up every single time I talk about it, is that the queen doesn't have to be complicated. She just has to be consistent. You know what most people don't understand? They think nutrition has to be this complex, expensive, overwhelming science project. They think they need to hire a nutritionist, buy 16 different supplements, follow some 20-page meal plan with foods they can't even pronounce. And meanwhile, a banana, a piece of fruit that costs less than $1 that you can carry in your gym bag, that your grandmother knew about, that your grandfather ate before there was a supplement industry, that banana is sitting there doing more for your post-workout recovery than half the overpriced products on the market today. That's the truth. And the truth doesn't need a fancy label. Let me tell you what happens inside your body when you finish a workout. Because this is important. This is science, and it's not complicated when you understand it the right way. When you exercise, whether you're walking, lifting weights, doing push-ups, swimming, doesn't matter, your muscles are working hard. They're contracting, they're tearing slightly, they're burning through fuel. Your body uses glycogen, which is stored sugar in your muscles, as its primary energy source during exercise. By the time you finish that workout, your glycogen stores are depleted, partially or fully, depending on how hard you went. They're empty. Your muscles are like a car that just ran out of gas on the highway. The engine worked. The engine is good, but without fuel, that car is going nowhere. Now, here's where most people make the mistake. They either don't refuel at all, or they wait too long, or they refuel with the wrong thing. And the body has a window, a critical, precious window right after exercise, typically within 30 to 45 minutes, where it is most receptive to absorbing nutrients and beginning the repair process. Miss that window, and you've thrown away a significant portion of the work you just did. That's not an opinion. That's physiology. Your muscles are screaming for replenishment, and you're making them wait. That is criminal. That is you working against your body instead of with it. And here's what a banana does in that window. That banana gives your body fast-acting natural carbohydrates, primarily fructose and glucose, that your depleted muscles can absorb rapidly to begin restoring glycogen. Simple, direct, effective, no processing needed. No waiting for digestion to work through some complicated protein shake formula. The banana is nature's perfect fast fuel. And on top of that, it delivers potassium. Now listen carefully, because potassium is a big deal that most people completely underestimate. During exercise, you sweat, and when you sweat, you lose electrolytes. Potassium is one of the most critical electrolytes for muscle function. Without enough potassium, your muscles cramp, they fatigue faster, they recover slower. Your heart, which is also a muscle, don't forget, doesn't function optimally. And a medium banana contains roughly 400 milligrams of potassium. That's not a small number. That's your body saying thank you in a language it understands. Think of it this way. You just drove your car hard, maybe up a mountain, pushing the engine. You pull into the station, and what do? You put in fuel. You check the fluids. You give the machine what it needs to run again. Your body is the most sophisticated machine ever created in the history of the universe, and it deserves at least the same respect you give your car. Would you drive your car into the ground, never change the oil, never put in gas, and then wonder why it breaks down? Of course not. Then why? Why do you work your body hard and then give it nothing? That's not discipline, that's destruction. And I won't stand here and let you destroy yourself. Now let me destroy some excuses, because I have heard them all, and they are all weak, and they are all holding you back from the life you deserve. The first excuse: it's just a banana. It can't make that big of a difference. You think one banana won't matter? Think again. Here's what I want you to understand about the word just. When you say just, you are minimizing something powerful. It's just a push-up. It's just a glass of water. It's just one early morning. Do you know what those justs add up to over 30 days? Over a year? Over a lifetime? Everything. Every transformation I have ever witnessed. Every body I have ever seen change. Every person who went from weak to strong, from tired to energized, from sick to vital. It started with small, simple, consistent actions that other people dismissed as just. One banana after a workout every single day is not just a banana, it is a decision. It is a statement to your body that says, I respect you, I will feed you, I will recover you, I will not abandon you after I ask you to work. That decision, compounded over time, creates results, period. The second excuse: I don't have time. You don't have time. Let me tell you something about time, friend. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, every morning, not because someone forces me to, not because I have a boss standing over me, but because I decided a long time ago that my health is the most important investment I will ever make, and it deserves the first hours of my day before the world can distract me, before excuses can creep in, before the noise of life drowns out the voice that says, move your body, feed it right, honor it. 4 in the morning, the world is quiet, it's just me and the work, and after that work, I eat, I recover, I give my body what it needs. And you're telling me you don't have time to peel a banana? A banana takes 11 seconds to open. You have 11 seconds. You have them right now. You had them yesterday. You will have them tomorrow. The question is never about time. The question is always about priority. What are you choosing to prioritize? Because your health will not wait indefinitely. Your body is patient, but it is not infinite. Every day you skip the basics. Every day you neglect recovery. The debt accumulates, and eventually your body sends you the bill. I've seen it. I've lived long enough to see what neglect does to a human being, and I am telling you from the deepest place of genuine care, don't let that be you. The third excuse: supplements are better than a banana. Oh, this one really gets me going. The supplement industry is worth billions of dollars. Billions. You know why? Because they have convinced you that nature is not enough. They have made you feel like, unless you're spending $30, $40, $50 a month on powders and pills, you're not doing it right. And some supplements have their place. I am not dismissing everything in a bottle. But here is the fundamental truth that the industry does not want you to hear. No supplement can replicate the complexity of a whole, natural food. A banana doesn't just have potassium. It has vitamin B6, which supports protein metabolism and helps your nervous system function after the stress of exercise. It has magnesium, which supports muscle relaxation and sleep quality. It has fiber, which regulates digestion. It has natural antioxidants that help reduce inflammation in those worked muscles. It has dopamine, yes, actual dopamine, a neurotransmitter precursor that affects your mood. All of that in one fruit. That costs less than a cup of coffee. And you want to tell me a powder in a plastic tub is better? The basics, the fundamentals will always outperform the complicated when the complicated replaces rather than supports the basics. Always. Now, let me give you the practical blueprint, because I am not here just to fire you up. I want to give you something you can use today, right now, starting with your very next workout. Within 30 minutes after you finish exercising, eat one banana. That's the core rule. Simple, non-negotiable. 30 minutes, one banana. If you can pair it with a source of protein, a hard-boiled egg, a handful of almonds, a cup of Greek yogurt, even better, because your muscles need both carbohydrates to restore glycogen and amino acids from protein to repair the tiny tears that exercise creates. But if you have nothing else available, if you're in the parking lot of the gym, if you're at the park after your morning walk, if you're at home after your workout and you don't have a full meal ready, peel that banana. Eat that banana. Do it every single time, without exception, for 30 days. Because here's the secret that nobody in the fitness industry wants to say plainly. Consistency beats perfection every time. You don't need the perfect post-workout meal. You need the consistent post-workout habit. And the banana is the easiest, most accessible, most affordable, consistent habit you can build. Now, where does this fit into your daily routine? Let me paint you a picture of what discipline looks like in action. I'm up at 4 in the morning. I do my workout, and yes, even at my age, I don't skip it. Because the body I've built over a lifetime of consistency is the greatest gift I could ever give myself. I finish the workout, and within that 30-minute window, I fuel the machine. I don't think about whether I feel like it. I don't negotiate with myself. I built the habit so deep into my identity that not doing it would feel wrong. That's what you're building. Not a diet plan, not a temporary program. An identity. The identity of a person who respects their body, who fuels it, who recovers it, who shows up for it every single day. And it doesn't matter if you're a beginner. I want to speak directly to the beginners right now because I know you might be feeling overwhelmed. I know you might be looking at all these fitness rules and all this nutrition information and feeling like you'll never figure it out. Listen to me. If you do nothing else differently starting today, nothing else but you add one banana after every workout, you will feel a difference. Your energy levels after workouts will improve. Your muscle soreness will decrease faster. Your cravings for junk food will reduce because your body is being properly nourished at the most critical recovery moment. You'll sleep better because your magnesium levels are supported. You'll feel less foggy, less irritable, less depleted, all from one banana. That is your starting point. That is the first domino. And when the first domino falls, the others will follow. And to the seniors listening, because I speak to you with special urgency, your recovery matters more, not less, as you age. Your body's ability to restore glycogen and repair muscle tissue is slower than it was at 25. That means the post-workout nutrition window is even more critical for you. That means the potassium to support heart function and prevent cramping is even more necessary. That means the B6 and magnesium for nerve health and sleep quality are even more important. You have earned every right to feel strong, vital, and energetic at any age. But you have to give your body the raw materials to do it. A banana is one of those raw materials. Don't let anyone tell you that because you're older, real transformation isn't possible. I have seen people in their 60s, 70s, even older, completely transform how they feel and how they live by simply committing to the basics. Consistently. Without quitting. Now let me address something important, the real enemy. The real enemy is not a lack of knowledge. You now know what to do. The real enemy is inconsistency. It's the 3 days on, 2 weeks off cycle that kills every fitness goal anyone has ever had. It's the laziness that whispers, I'll start again on Monday. It's the craving that says, I worked out, I deserve this junk food, and then uses the workout as an excuse to eat in a way that completely undoes the work. It's the skipping of recovery nutrition because you tell yourself it doesn't matter, because you tell yourself it's just one time, because you tell yourself that tomorrow you'll be better, and tomorrow becomes a word you live behind forever. Let me be honest with you in the way that a real friend would be honest, not the way someone trying to sell you something would be honest. Some of you listening right now have been starting over for years, not months, years. You've bought the programs, you've joined the gyms, you've downloaded the apps, you've told people you're getting serious. And then life happens and you stop and you start again and you stop and the cycle continues. And every time you stop, a little piece of your belief in yourself goes with it. I know that feeling. Not because I am perfect. I have had my struggles and my setbacks and my dark moments when discipline felt impossible, but because I have spent a lifetime watching people fight this battle. And the ones who win, the ones who really win, are not the ones who had the best program. They're the ones who found one simple anchor habit, one non-negotiable daily act of self-respect, and they held on to it no matter what. For some people, it's the morning workout. For others, it's drinking enough water. For you, starting today, let it be the banana. Let it be the thing you don't skip. Let it be the daily proof to yourself that you are serious, that you show up That you do the thing even when it's small and unglamorous and nobody is watching. Because here's where I want you to think carefully. I want you to see two futures with me. Sit with this for a moment, because this is real. In one future, you keep doing what you've always done. You work out sometimes, inconsistently, without proper recovery nutrition. You finish a hard session, and you give your body nothing, or you give it processed food that spikes your blood sugar and leaves your muscles starving. You feel sore for days after every workout, which makes you dread exercising, which means you do it less, which means you get weaker, which means it's harder, which means you quit. Your energy is low. Your sleep is restless. You feel older than your age. You look in the mirror and you don't feel pride, you feel frustration. And you tell yourself the lie that everyone tells themselves, I just don't have the genetics for it. Some people are built for this and I'm not. And the years go by, and the body that was designed to be strong and vital and alive runs on empty. I don't want that for you. I genuinely don't. In the other future, you make a decision today. One decision. You commit to 30 days. Every workout followed by one banana. That simple. You feel the difference in week 1. Your soreness after workouts decreases noticeably because potassium is doing its job, because your glycogen is being restored, because your muscles have the raw materials they need to repair. In week 2, your workouts start to feel better because your body has learned that recovery is real, that it will be nourished, and it gives you more energy to push through. In week 3, you've built a habit so naturally embedded in your routine that it's no longer an effort, it's just who you are. In week 4, you look at yourself differently. Not just physically, though that is changing too, but mentally. You prove to yourself that you can commit, that you can be consistent, that small, smart daily choices have power, and that 30 days becomes 60, and 60 becomes a year. And in that year, your body transforms. Not because of a miracle, not because of an expensive supplement, because you honored the fundamentals, because you treated exercise as king and nutrition as queen, and you gave them both the attention they deserve. So here is your 30-day challenge, right now. Starting with your very next workout. For 30 consecutive days, you do your workout, any workout, whatever level you're at, from a brisk walk to a full gym session, and within 30 minutes of finishing, you eat one banana. That's it. That's the challenge. You can add a hard-boiled egg or some yogurt if you want to amplify it. You can make sure you're drinking enough water. You can work on other pieces of your nutrition. But the non-negotiable, the anchor, the daily promise to yourself is that banana. 30 days, every workout, no excuses. And let me tell you what will happen in those 30 days if you hold the line. Your recovery will be faster. Your energy levels will stabilize after exercise instead of crashing. Your muscle cramps, if you suffer from them, will reduce dramatically. Your mood after workouts will be elevated because your blood sugar is properly managed and your brain is getting natural dopamine support. You will build the psychological confidence of a person who keeps their promises to themselves. And that confidence, that proof of self-discipline, will bleed into every other area of your life. That's not a small thing. That's not just a fitness change. That is a character change. That is the beginning of becoming the person you were always supposed to be. Your body, your responsibility. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to peel that banana for you. Nobody is going to make the choice to recover right, to fuel right, to show up for yourself consistently. That is your job. And the beautiful, terrifying, empowering truth is that you are completely capable of doing it. Every single one of you. The beginner who has never committed to anything. The senior who thinks the window has passed. The professional who thinks they're too busy. The person who has started over 100 times. All of you have the capacity for this. Because this is not complicated. This is not complicated. It is a banana. It is 30 minutes. It is a daily choice that costs less than $1 and takes less than 2 minutes to complete. I have dedicated my life to this message. I have lived this message. I have seen it work in bodies, young and old, strong and broken, hopeful and defeated. And I am standing here with every bit of energy and love and conviction I have in me to tell you that the simple things work, the basics work, consistency works. And you deserve to feel what it's like to live inside a body that is truly, properly, lovingly cared for. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is a myth, your fear invented to keep you comfortable. Start now. Start today. The next time you finish a workout, reach for that banana. Hold it in your hand and understand what it represents. It represents a choice. It represents respect. It represents the person you are choosing to become rather than the person your excuses keep you as. This is your moment. This is the moment where everything shifts, not because of a grand dramatic gesture, but because of one simple, powerful, non-negotiable decision made with love and respect for the most extraordinary machine you will ever own, your body. Your beautiful body that has carried you through every single day of your life without asking for much, that has fought for you and worked for you and wanted nothing more than the raw materials to do its job. Give it the banana, do the work, honor the commitment, and watch what happens when a human being finally starts treating themselves the way they deserve to be treated. Now move. Go do your workout. And when you're done, you know exactly what to do.